Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Alberta News and Views and the Alberta Report podcast from the great, the food professor. Trump's plan is working. Surprise, surprise, Canada. The hits just keep on coming. Crown Royal bottler closing down Ontario plant and moving operations to the United States. The last I looked, just over 200 jobs are on the line, and the union plans on fighting tooth and nail to get justice. The union vows to fight devastating closure of Diageo, am I saying that right? Whiskey bottling plant. So this company said that they would be willing to relocate their workers and give them compensation, give them some severance pay. Diageo, I hope I'm saying that, a Canadian bottling plant for Crown Royal whiskey to close in the new year. They are still, it's a big company. They're still making booze, they're still bottling stuff. But the big thing here is they don't really say why they are leaving Canada, other than they are just moving operations. But we can all guess why, because it's cheaper and it's stable. And this right here is just a nuke on Carnage Carney's Liberal government. It really is. Holy crap. Canada's current account deficit reached the widest on record. Yes, we are living in historic times right now. The shortfall rose to $21.16 billion in the second quarter. This is the result of elbows up strategy. This is the fastest decline of exports in history. It's within months. Over $2 billion. Donald Trump he's winning. His strategy is winning. It doesn't matter what what Carnage Corp media says. He is there. I think they've already made over $500 billion. The United States has made over $500 billion in tariff revenue. From the Vancouver Sun, the Americans are selling Canadian natural gas to Europe at a profit. You can't make this up. Canada remains one of the world's largest LNG exporters, but 99.9% of that is sent into the United States via pipeline. Are you serious? 51st state. All roads lead to Western independence. Seriously. All that money, all of that prosperity, gone. So while the Crown Royal bottler is leaving, so now Crown Royal is in the spotlight, all the booze, and don't forget there's videos out there of the usual suspects in Ontario blatantly robbing liquor stores. So today Doug Ford chimed in on that. And he says he will not be putting American booze back on the shelves until there is a trade deal or the Americans drop their tariffs. So today in media, everybody is wondering, how is Doug Ford so popular with his voters? How is he so popular in Ontario when he says these reckless things? The last poll that came out, if you believe them, on Canadians was how they felt about Mark Carney dropping tariffs. They hated it. I believe it's like over 80% of Canadians wanted the tariffs still put in place. They want to punish Donald Trump. Doug Ford is an amazing Canadian politician. The division, the hate that they have towards Americans right now, all drummed up from the Liberal government. That is why Doug Ford is saying these ridiculous things on how he won't put American booze back on the shelves. Now imagine what that is doing to our trade talks right now. Dominic LeBlanc got sent home empty-handed, so they sent in like the B team to try and do some talking because the Americans cannot stand the Liberal government of Canada, which is probably why Doug Ford endorsed Mark Carney to begin with. Moving on. Counselor Lisa Robinson, if you don't know who she is, I've been sharing a lot of her videos because they're wicked. They are truth bombs. She is the Pickering City Councilor. And like almost every day, she just wants to get the truth out. Canada soon to ban $10,000 cash payments and fines triple and 8 years of government control. Here, I'll just let her do the talking.
Hey guys, Councillor Lisa Robinson here. You may not have heard of Bill C2, but you should. Because under this law, the Government of Canada wants to make it illegal for you to spend your own money in cash if it's more than $10,000. Not just for criminals, not just for suspicious activity, but for everyone. That means buying a used car, paying for farm equipment, a vacation, furniture for your home, even large donations to a church or charity. Suddenly, you're under suspicion. And if you break this rule, the Government of Canada can fine you millions of dollars, up to 3 times the amount that you spent. Enough to crush small businesses, charities, and hardworking Canadians who still believe in financial privacy. Let that sink in. We're told it's about stopping crime, but this isn't about crime. It's about control. Because if government can tell you how much of your own money you're allowed to spend and how, then what can't they control?
Exactly. Overwhelm, destroy, replace, control. That is the point of all of it. All of it. Continuing on. New reporting reveals the United States officials claim Canada's federal police, RCMP, refused to cooperate with the American DEA on a massive fentanyl super lab in British Columbia. The lab was allegedly supplied by chemical companies in China. And right now, Donald Trump has warships heading to Venezuela because he believes that it is coming from there as well. The scale of this super lab was staggering. When finally raided, police found enough fentanyl for 95 million lethal doses. They also seized a half-ton of narcotics, 89 firearms, including machine guns, body armor, and explosives. According to the U.S., the DEA gave the RCMP intelligence on the lab supply chain in late 2022. However, the RCMP allegedly refused to act until over a year later, and only after the U.S. government sanctioned the key Canadian company involved. This breakdown in cooperation had major consequences. It's cited as a key reason for the recent 35% U.S. tariffs on Canada. The former DEA chief in charge of the case called the RCMP's handling of it a major disaster. This bombshell investigation comes from the Bureau. Super Cooper, Sam Cooper. He's on Substack. Check him out there if you want this whole story. He's got great stuff. Give him a follow. And this is from DEI Civitas. I hope I'm saying that right. Got great stuff as well. I remember this story, and the Carney Corp media was silent on this, absolutely silent, and they kept on sending out polls saying that Canada doesn't even have 1% of the drugs, and it's completely obvious. There's a cartel, and everybody in British Columbia and in Canada knows that China controls the ports. Everybody knows there's documentaries on it, on how they cook the stuff up in the boats off the coast and bring it in. It's all right there. And if you don't think there's corruption in Canada, just do a little bit of research. Like, I remember this. I think there was one guy arrested for this. So I typed in, who was arrested for the British Columbia Superlab drug bust? Gaganpreet Singh Randamana was the only person arrested in connection with the British Columbia drug superlab bust in Falkland. British Columbia, he was identified as the main suspect by the RCMP and is facing multiple charges, including possession of the purpose of trafficking, exporting controlled substance, and a firearms-related offense. The biggest fucking drug bust. And they got one guy? And the RCMP was complicit? And they couldn't find more than one guy? Well, that's really strange. Indeed. Moving on. The senator is one frequent flyer. This is from Blacklock's Reporter. Give them a follow. They got more good stuff. A Liberal Senate appointee who denounced conservative critics as cold-blooded on climate change jetted home each weekend to Winnipeg for no official reason. Senator Charles Adler yesterday had no comment. Quote, "No matter how much I read, I never feel I understand enough about the issue of our time, climate change." This government is packed right full of climate hypocrites. That is what they are. It is just like Justin Trudeau, still to this day, flying all over the planet, touting climate change, climate change, climate change. They are all the same. It is absolutely ridiculous. Last but not least, ending with this bombshell. Breaking. Conor McGregor reveals he has secured the required number of parliamentary votes to run for Ireland's next president. Ireland has a chance of survival. If he does this, he will win by a landslide. He will be touring and campaigning with the Elon Musks, with the Donald Trumps. He will get all of the support of the heavy hitting conservatives globally that want peace, justice, and liberty. And I am telling all of you, Alberta needs to get on that ride, needs to ride that wave. All roads lead to Western independence. Seriously, this could be us. Doing stuff and getting stuff done. Saying no, putting an end to all of this. I will keep you updated with as much as I can when I can. All of you out there, like, share, and take care.